this video, we learn about prepositional phrase. What is a prepositional phrase? Imagine a train. The engine is the preposition and it always pulls one or more cars. The object of the preposition, they are the cars, and then we may have modifiers. So if I write it like this, that there is a train, we have a train, we can imagine a train, and this is a true analogy for understanding the prepositional phrase. And over here, the engine of this train, that is going to act as a preposition or the preposition. So it will be the engine that will be called the preposition. Then comes the cars or the carriages. So a train has got so many cars or carriages which are pulled by the engine. So those cars are actually the object of the preposition. And one more thing, it may be having some modifiers as well as carriages. So it is combination of modifiers and the object of the preposition. So object of the preposition and the modifiers, if there are any, they will be called the carriages which are pulled by the engine of the train. So this analogy, that of train, that is actually the preposition train. What is this analogy? This is the preposition train. So if we are to understand this concept, we have to draw some analogies in order to get the idea. So just like a train needs cars to be useful, so these carriages, they need to be useful. A preposition needs a noun or a pronoun that will be acting as the object over there in that sentence to complete its meaning. So without carriages, a preposition, that is the engine, that is nothing. So whenever we find some carriages, they should be having an object, and that object will be a noun or a pronoun. So hope you get this idea till now. So if I underline this with a blue marker, so we can understand, if we highlight this object is actually the noun or pronoun, and the engine itself is going to be the preposition. So till now we have understood one thing, that we have imagined a train, and that train is actually a preposition train. A train always got an engine, and over here that engine will act like a preposition, and that engine is attached with so many carriages. So those carriages, they are actually the object of the preposition, which may be nouns or pronouns. So if we take one example together, the engine and cars, if we combine this engine, then this engine plus, if we add all the carriages, means, so that will be actually, that is going to form a prepositional phrase. So this analogy will help us understand the concept of prepositional phrase. So if I write or label what is the engine, that should be a preposition. Number one, it should be the preposition, and it should follow what? A noun as an object, means the carriages, noun or pronoun. So we can easily conclude the concept that we have to have a preposition followed by noun that will be called a prepositional phrase. So if we take the examples, we can easily understand now the concept that we have developed. So if I say that on wooden table. So this is one example that starts with a preposition on. So this is preposition, we know this, and it ends at a noun. It is going to end at a noun, that is a table. So it starts, number one, at a preposition and ends at a noun, and in between we may have some modifiers like the and wooden. So these are actually the modifiers. So preposition followed by noun, and in between we may have some modifiers, as you know, they may function as the carriages. So how can we define a prepositional phrase? A prepositional phrase is a group of words that begins with a preposition and ends with a noun or pronoun, which is going to function as the object of the preposition. It may include also, it may have some modifiers, as this one and this one over here. These two are the modifiers. So they may act as modifiers, but a prepositional phrase is a group of words that begins with a preposition, in this case on, and ends with a noun, that is a table. It may be a pronoun as well, which is the object of the preposition, and it may also include some modifiers. So we can say that what is a prepositional phrase? So we can easily conclude that it should have the structure like this. What will be the structure? The structure of a prepositional phrase will be, it will start with a preposition always. It is going to start or begin with a preposition. Then there may be some modifiers, as in this example, the and wooden. They are the modifier or modifier, one modifier, more than one, and it should follow a noun or a pronoun. So that will act as the object of the sentence. So this is actually the structure of a prepositional phrase. So hope to this point you have learned the concept of prepositional phrase. So if we continue this, so we can easily understand the concept that what is prepositional phrase. So we can take more examples. For example, if I say that on the table, what does it show? If I say the keys are on the table. So this example reflects that on the table over here, this starts with a preposition and ends at a noun, and we have this sentence where we can find this prepositional phrase, the keys are on the table. So what does it reflect? It shows place. It reflects place. So where are the keys? The keys are on the table. So if we take another example, we can easily conclude the other one. What is that? So after the long meeting, so we may write like this: after the long then meeting. This is another phrase. We can easily understand that it starts with a preposition after and ends at a noun, that is meeting. So what does it show? It reflects time. This particular phrase, that is prepositional phrase, this reflects time. So we can make a sentence: we left after and the long meeting. So over here we can find the preposition phrase that begins with after, that is a preposition, and it is going to end at a noun, that is meeting. So we can take more examples. What are those? I say under the old oak tree. Under the old oak tree. So this is one more example where we can find that it shows some location. What is there? There is some location. So under is the preposition and tree is noun. This starts with the preposition under, then we have modifier the, old, and then oak. These three are the modifiers, but actually it is tree that is the noun. So we can easily show that it does show what is there. There is the location of that particular tree. So we can write the sentence quite easily. They sat under the old oak tree. So this example is going to tell us that this is the phrase that is prepositional phrase. It starts with a preposition and ends at a noun tree. So we can take more examples with great enthusiasm. So this is one more example. What does it show? It shows manner. Means it is the, this phrase starts with which is preposition and ends at a noun that is enthusiasm. So we can make a sentence by using this preposition phrase. She spoke with great enthusiasm. So over here in this sentence, this is the preposition phrase that starts with the preposition with and ends at a noun that is an abstract one, that is enthusiasm. So we can take more examples. So one more is going to show the position. What is that? We can write it quite easily. It is going to refer to some position by the river bank. So there is a river and it has a bank, so we can see quite easily that it starts with a preposition by and ends at a noun bank. So we can make a quite a simple sentence. The cabin is by the river bank. So over here in this sentence we can see that by is the preposition and bank is the noun, and this complete one is a preposition phrase by the river bank, and this the and river, they are actually the modifiers. So we can take more examples in order to understand the concept. Once again, if I say in a hurry, so over here what is there? It starts with a preposition in and we have modifier and it ends at a noun that is hurry. So it shows some state or manner. So we can find that state or manner over here. We can write it like this. So if I say the sentence is he left in a hurry. In a hurry. So this sentence is going to have this preposition phrase from here to here, and in is over here. This is preposition and hurry is the noun, and in between we have this modifier o. So we can have more examples. For example, for if I write like for, then the sake of peace. So this again shows some purpose or reason. There is a reason behind this particular phrase. It starts with for and ends at a peace, which is an abstract noun, and in between the sake and the sake of, this is actually modifying this particular noun. So we can write it in a sentence. They compromised what? For the sake of peace. So this in this particular portion is the preposition phrase. It starts with a preposition for and ends at a noun. So that's why it is one more example that can refer to prepositional phrase. So if I take a last example for this, at the right moment, if I write this like this, at the right moment. So again you can find this, that this particular phrase reflects time once again. What is the time over here? Right moment. Moment refers to the time. This is a noun and it starts with, this phrase starts with the preposition at, and then we have two modifiers, the and right. So if we use this in a sentence, we can use it like this: she arrived at, sorry, it should be arrived at the right moment. So this is a complete sentence in which we have this preposition phrase that starts with a preposition at, and it is going to end at noun moment, which is an abstract noun. So there may be some types of prepositional phrase, because there are the adjective phrase and the adverbial phrase. So it has got what are those? Adjective phrase. Adjective phrase actually may be used as a prepositional phrase. Then adverb phrase is there. So these are actually the two subcategories, because they can also be used. For example, if I write one example for adjective phrase, the book on the table or on the top shelf, something like that, is mine. So actually it has got a sentence, the book, which book, that starts with the a preposition on, then modifier is the, top is another modifier, and it ends at a noun, that is shelf. So this one is preposition. So on the top of shelf, it's a preposition phrase, but at the same time it is qualifying or describing or modifying this noun, that is book. The book, which book on the top shelf is mine. So this may actually it is a preposition phrase, but it is functioning like an adjective phrase. So same goes for one more example for this adverb phrase. If I write it like this: she ran through the park. So over here we can find that this is the preposition through, and park is a noun, so it becomes, this whole becomes a prepositional phrase. But one more function is there. What is that? If I say she ran, I don't know how did she run. So if I say that this phrase, that is through the park, this particular phrase is actually modifying the action ran. So once something is adding or modifying a verb, that will be called an adverb. But over here it is a phrase, through the park. It is a preposition phrase, but it is actually functioning like it is modifying a verb. So it may also be called the adverbial phrase or adverb phrase. So this phrase is basically these two, adjective phrase and adverb phrase. They may also be used, basically they may be prepositional phrase. So we can take more examples in order to understand the concept. The cake on the counter is for you, and we met after the show, and he gave the gift to his mother. The car under the sofa is sleeping, and last one, she completed the work in a hurry. So these examples will help us understand the concept, what is a preposition phrase. So adjective phrase and preposition phrase, they may also be used. Basically they may be preposition phrase first, and then they may function as an adverb phrase or as an adjective phrase. Hope you understand the concept. Thank you for listening.